1. A very good afternoon from St Tyrone Park, Clones. It's not often that you're in Clones this time in the year, but when you are, it has to be a very important National League game. Perhaps it don't come much more important today in the Lidl National Football League Division 2 clash between Monaghan and Tyrone. Of course, the sides met last year. Heavy controversy in that one. It finished 9 points apiece in the end, despite the fact that there was a few discrepancies near the end. There was a point not allowed or whatever, and a point was drawn, and the end up it finished at level pegging. But Niall Trainer, who joins us this afternoon, former Monaghan manager, Ulster, of course, now the fixtures man involved in Ulster. Niall, it was a bit of controversy. Siobhan Coyle was very brave when she stood up and said she got it wrong. Difficult conditions, horrendous conditions up in Musa last year. Share the spoils. But it's not going to matter much this afternoon.
No, definitely not, Paddy, but it's great to be out here again, commentating again in the 2023 season. It's great to see it back to a full league as well. So a lot for both managers, Sean and Kieran, to look at their panels and to see what they can get from it.
Certainly both management teams will be keen to continue in a good vein of form. Last week perhaps didn't go to plan from a Monaghan point of view. Well beaten in the end in Laois, but Laois, of course, well, we know the quality they have, and this Monaghan side appears to be at least a team very much in transition.
Yeah, I suppose we've spoken about that over the last couple of years, but I suppose Kieran's in since the start of last year, and it is a big transition period for Monaghan. And even if you're looking at the team sheets, me and you spoke earlier, there's 7 changes from the Monaghan side last year as well. But it's great to see that the league is a full league campaign as well. He can look at his panel, he can look at the strengths and depths that he has. But yeah, an awful lot of hard work. But Monaghan really needs to get these 2 points here today in Clones because of a tough game away next weekend again to another Ulster side, Armagh. So looking forward to a great game, looking forward to an open game as well, but hopefully 2 points for the home side.
Well, from a Monaghan point of view, they start with a few changes to the programme, and we're told maybe there may even be a couple more changes since that, but we'll come back to that as we go along. Lorna Kelly is named in goals. Maeve Monaghan, Jennifer Duffy and Shona Brady make up the full back line. Amy Hamill and Anya Lockman are joined now by number 22 Rosemary Courtney, experienced player, of course, from the Dunamoyne club. Jodie McQuillan and Miriam Atkinson, she's the captain of the side. That's in midfield with Amy Garland, who's been picked up an injury but appears to have recovered from that. Leanne Maguire, and number 20, we're told, is Lauren Walsh. However, we are told perhaps that, or Laura Walsh, we are told that could be a change between now and the start. Emma Clark and Chloe McBride scored the goal last week in a low scoring encounter from a Monaghan point of view, is at full forward, and Shauna Coyle from Latin is at number 15. A lot of unfamiliar faces coming through now. Monaghan, of course, will play intermediate football this year, and these sides will meet again now in the early part of the year in the Ulster Championship.
Yeah, Kabir, whenever you look at it, I suppose, as I said there, as I alluded earlier, he's really trying to develop a team here. It's going to take a 2-3 year plan here for Kieran to come in, but the players are there in Monaghan. We just need to get them in and get them built into the panel and get them going and playing at county level at this standard. And
how tough is it for some of those players just to come in and a new format, new era for them?
Yeah, I suppose they are playing in Division 2, and we are going to be coming up against some really strong sides, like, Tipperary's back down into intermediate this year as well, and I suppose Armagh as well, and the likes of yourselves that are a well-developed team. But whenever you look at the likes of Monaghan, we have the strength and depth within, the county and within the clubs. It's just trying to get the girls to buy into it and to play at county level. But the commitment, at county level now, Paddy, is unbelievable. If you look at it, used to be the men's, it's the same for the ladies. You're training 2 to 3 nights a week.
Absolutely. It's a massive buy-in, there's no doubt about that. Well, to get a quick look at the Tyrone team, Caitlin Donnelly's in goals. The absence, of course, of Sinead McVeigh with an ongoing injury. Emer Quin's at number 2. Number 21 is Emma Haggerty, and 29 is Aura Mulgrew. Changes from the original line-up there. Michaela Moore, Rebecca Barker and Maeve Corrigan, the talented Maeve Corrigan from Errigal Kieran at number 7. Imogen Gervin and Captain Avian McBride, or Avian McHugh, in the middle of the park, with number 24 Maria Cannon Canavan in for Niamh Hughes, Stana McCarroll at 11, Jane Lyons at 12, Chloe McCaffrey makes a return as well after injury. She replaces Grania Rafferty. Maeve Mallon at 14 back in the squad again, and Aoife Horish, a fine young talent of course as well. There is some sadness of course in the Tyrone camp today with the sad passing of Sasha Byrne's grandfather Bobby, and certainly be a minute's silence here this afternoon in memory of him. So Sasha not included this afternoon. Tyrone manager is Sean O'Kane, with Shawnee Mailer, Noel O'Kane, Fergal Quan, Sean O'Neill and Damien Corrigan. And it's a familiar name in the management team of Monaghan as well. Kieran Kearns is the manager of course, but you have Hugh Donnelly there of course as well, Porrick Smith, Declan McKiernan, Corey Smith and Peter McGill. A lot of experience in the background today for both sides.
Yeah, I suppose whenever you look at it, I suppose that's what you want to bring in when you have a management team there, Paddy, is you want to bring in the strength of the experience and leave it down the line to these girls, you know, and help them as much as possible to settle into this county setups and to push on and be an established player within their own county.
Maria Canavan played a big part for Tyrone last week as they recorded a victory over Roscommon at O'Neill Sealy Park. Grania Rafferty got 4 points as well. Maria got 4 points. It was an entertaining encounter from their point of view, but there's a lot of changes in even the lineup from last week as well. And then you see Emma Mulgrew down there as well, nursing a shoulder injury. She's only getting herself back into action again after long-term absence. It'll be 4 weeks before she's available again. And I know they're looking at the Monaghan side as well. There's a few changes there too and a few injuries, and Kieran had a couple of very late fitness checks there today.
Yeah, I suppose when you look at it, I suppose from last week, you know, a few of the Donaghmore players only came on at half time, you know, for the away game against Laois and that. But as we said, you have a panel of players to to use in these national leagues, Paddy, and they all have to step up to the mark and see are they worthy of making the 1 to 15 for the starting of the Ulster Championship.
Would be fair to say that the managers appear in the main all to be happy with the fact that it is back to the full league again?
Oh, definitely so, because, you know, especially whenever you're new in the likes of Sean and Kieran and you've fresh new panels, you want to see what you have out there and what girls, have to offer and that. But whenever such a close-knit, National League, Paddy, it's very hard to work with that, and every game matters. But again, this is a local derby here today. It's great to be here in Clonus. It looks like it's going to stay dry. It is a bit cooler out there, but not as cold as we thought it was going to be. But hopefully it's going to be a cracking game here today. Levy
McHugh, the Tyrone captain out there with Murian Atkinson, two midfielders, and they're being briefed by referee this afternoon, Gavin Finnegan, lines people Kyle Brannigan and Aoife McElroy. And there's a few familiar faces among the umpires there today, as well as there always is. And you're watching the LGFA's Lidl National Football League coverage here this afternoon. Delighted to have you with us here at St Tiernack's Park in Clonus. A fine venue. It's probably used to the big summer occasions in terms of the big games here, but once again it's great that the GA and the LGFA working together here with the Clonus Club and St Tiernack's Park, the venue once again. A minute's silence now for Bobby Byrne. Now we will now, of course, have a run of in here at St Tiernack's in Clonus. The Lidl Ladies National Football League Division 2 clash. Monaghan v Tyrone on the way. Conditions absolutely ideal for this afternoon's game. There's a slight breeze blowing as it looks potentially maybe right to left, but it's very it's not making much of an impact, is it now?
No, definitely not, I suppose. But the big thing for the game today, I suppose, for both sides, I suppose you want to see good kick-outs. You want to see certain players stepping up to the play, and more girls get more game time as well, and I suppose possession and and the man marking as well. So we'll see who's going to pick up the likes of Chloe McCaffrey today as well from Tyrone. So she's a sharpshooter from St McCartans, and she's a seasoned campaigner when it comes to inter-county football here. There's
plenty of talent and show from both sides. While it is, of course, this Monaghan side appeared to be in a bit of transition, certainly there's a lot of experience about them when you look at the likes of Maureen Atkinson and Rosemary Courtney there as well, and Emma Clark and Chloe McBride. They've all been here before, of course. We're about to get underway here at Clonus. As I said, conditions not too bad. Tyrone shooting to the old scoreboard end, or the old dressing room end, away to our right hand side. The Rusley Road has a big scoreboard flashing away to our left hand side, and referee Gavin Finnegan about to get things underway. Pretty sure both sides will be up for this one this afternoon. A good start, vital in this one, and the ball won by Atkinson. She decides to stride through the middle, tries to open it up already here from a Monaghan point of view, but the Tyrone defence closing down the danger this early stage, and the referee awards the free, and it comes out to Maeve Corrigan down this near side. An early touch there for the young Errigal Kieran player on the squad before, but they really had the time. Nice ball through the centre, trying to thread her way through there to the number 15 Eva Horish, but too much on this occasion, and a lot of positional switches already in terms of a Tyrone point of view, but we'll come to those in a moment as Monaghan go on the offensive down this near side. Is picked up there by McQuillan lays it out this near side to Shauna Coyle from distance, that one curls in, but an early opportunity goes wide from a Monaghan point of view. Positional switches, you see Chloe McCaffrey working well out the park there already, but again the kick out is collected. Still work to be done. Corrigan, Haggerty lays it on down to McCaffrey. We're number 20 at 20 and 21 combining here. Maria Canavan has moved onto a more central role. Has the ball went out in this near side? It looks to have went out in this side, and the lines person eventually signals, and I see a number 18 on there for Monaghan as well. That's Sheila Murphy. So obviously a couple of changes there that we weren't told about, but we'll have to just check on those in a moment or two as the ball comes back in again. It's broke down. Corrigan's had a lot of touches of the ball so far now.
Yeah, whenever you look at numbers on the pitches, the numbers don't matter. If you look at the likes of Jodie McQuillan, which started off in midfield, which is playing full forward. You have Lauren Garland's number 24 now on instead of, you were saying earlier, Laura Walsh, and she's back in the back. In the full back line, she's doubling up and sweeping that, so the numbers don't really matter here today, Sean. They're just going man marking here.
Nice touch there from Orla Mulgrew, back in the squad again, of course, as well. Her sister Emma currently carrying injury. McHugh, the captain, lays it off out that far side to Haggerty, and Haggerty launches it long. Route 1, perhaps the order of the day here, as Mallon takes possession. We're number 14, but well out the park at this stage. Ball through the centre, nice ball it is as well. An opportunity here inside to McCaffrey. Nearly a chance for her to break away. Gets the ball back out again here to Horish. Horish does well, lays it back again to McCaffrey, but that effort spurned, and another early wide in this encounter now.
Yeah, I suppose that was well defended by Monaghan, because obviously we all know that Chloe McCaffrey has that really sharp left foot on her as well. Monaghan was tracking back as well, but as you can see at the minute, as I said, Lauren Garland has come on instead of Michaela McCabe, and she's playing back a sweeper down there, trying to help the defence as much as possible. So yeah, good work for both sides, attacking, but two wides.
Two early wides. Goalkeeper about to hit this one out. Goalkeeper is Orna Kelly. We're number 16. There's a couple of other changes we weren't made aware of, and apologies for that. We'll pick them up as we go along, but Monaghan on the offensive. Duffy right to thread the ball through the centre, trying to take a return pass as well, and then does. Out this near side is Coyle launched it across. Monaghan involved in that one as well. Maeve Monaghan doing well in the ball out that far side as Monaghan going the offensive. A long ball in, an opportunity, and again it is missed and goes out wide on this left hand side in the Rusley Road end of the ground. Was there a touch? The referee indicates it's a free. Calling it back, probably the right call in the end. We let the advantage go to a moment, but calls it back.
Yeah, I suppose the big thing for referees, this year is, Paddy, is that they have to keep the hand up for the 5 seconds. So the advantage was given. Monaghan didn't win the advantage, so he pulled it back then for a free.
And the free kick's already taken. Picked up there by the 22. That is Courtney from distance. Good opportunity, fine score.
Yeah, Chloe McBride. Yeah, Monaghan seems to be pushing up, and they want to be getting the ball through the hands really, really quickly. They want to move the ball as fast as possible. So yeah, Monaghan's pushing on here, and they want to hit the ground running. Paddy.
Good ball it was from Courtney, and well delivered. Excellent opening score. Ball through this right hand side, picked up by Horish. McCaffrey pointing to where she wants it. Gets it away now on this right hand side, trying to burst through, being closed down. Ball inside to Horish. Goal chance perhaps for Tyrone. Flies across the face of the goal. The shot will be blocked down. And is it a foot block, says the referee? It is it? He's certainly going to check, and he's given the penalty kick.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And an early opportunity for Tyrone, but perhaps harsh there on Atkinson.
Yeah, it was good defending there by Monaghan, but just unfortunately Mirren just had the foot out there, and it was straight in front of the referee, and he gave the penalty.
An early chance for Tyrone. An early chance for, you'd expect, Maria Canavan. She's the ball in her hand. She's not letting go of it anyway now. She's going to hold on to it.
And Atkinson, Mirren's after being sin-binned as well. I see there as well. The referee's after sin-binned her for 10 minutes.
So that's a big setback for them as well. And an early opportunity for Tyrone, and that just comes on 6 minutes. So it is Canavan, referee waiting on Atkinson to make her way down this right hand side. Canavan is yet to set the ball down, and then will eventually set it down. Be her against Kelly, front of the O'Duffy terrace. I'll have to say, I'm going to say sparsely populated, but there's absolutely no one in it at this stage. Canavan into the roof of the net. Fine finish. And opportunity taken and done well by Canavan there.
Yeah, Maria Canavan, she's really good at taking penalties. I've seen her on a few occasions at club football, and so she's really, really confident and put the ball straight into the roof of the net.
Big setback, you'd have to say, though, for Monaghan. It's how they weather these 10 minutes, isn't it?
Exactly. But look, they're going pushing forward through the hands really, really quickly, passing the ball on and doing really well here.
This is an opportunity. The ball can come misdirection. It's hit skyward, though. It's going to drop. It drops away wide. The referee will give the free, though. The challenge came in there. It will be a free from close range.
Yeah, no, it's very good to see the referees up with the play as well, Paddy as well, and he gave the advantage there, so Monaghan didn't get the advantage, so he pulled it back for a free on Amy Garland.
Was that a bit of a setback, but it's indeed how you do recover. The referee just having a word there, just checking that Garland's okay. She seems to be okay. I suppose you would call her a bit of walking wounded at this stage, but it will be a free for Monaghan, and an important kick here for McBride. Steadies herself and makes no mistake with that one, and a second point of the afternoon for her, but a big score really in the bigger picture of things, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I suppose Monaghan wanted to settle back up and come down the field and get the next score, and that was the good thing to do, and try to weather these next 10 minutes.
Tyrone on the offensive again. McHugh takes possession of the ball. She's got Haggerty for support. Decides to take it on herself. It's a loose enough ball to Emma Jane Girvan. Girvan to McHugh. McHugh striding through. McHugh gets the pass away, but perhaps it was the wrong option, Niall. In the end up, she should have maybe went on ahead.
Yeah, I think as well, in fairness, they're trying to walk the ball in Tyrone as well. I would say over carrying there as well.
Yeah.
The
referee's well up with the play.
He is, yeah. He's keeping up on his decisions. He's making them. He's not thinking about making these decisions. He's making them straight and forward.
An opportunity here for Maria Canavan again on front of that Duffy terrace. And she would certainly fancy her chances. 4 points last week. She's really got a goal on the board today. Trademark finish from her, and harsh enough call from the referee, isn't it?
Yes.
But I suppose if that's the rules, and the referee's up to the play and doing well.
Yeah, it's the 4-step rule. I suppose that's what he called, that you over carry the ball. But yeah, you were saying earlier on about Tyrone. They're carrying the ball in. They seem to want to go for goals all the time, Paddy, rather than taking the points. A
bit of time perhaps for Kelly there, but the ball is away, and Monaghan try and turn it over here once again, try and run it through the centre, get it free for their trouble, and a chance for them to build here from the back on a sunny but chilly afternoon here at St Tyrone Park in Clones. It's the Lidl National Football League Division 2 clash between the two Ulster rivals, who will meet again later on in April in the Ulster Intermediate Championship. Monaghan relegated last year. Ball out this near side. It will come across here to Coyle. Coyle, nice pass inside, a nice layoff as well, engineered well. Rosemary Courtney out there looking for possession of the ball, takes it away, and then will get it back into the middle. There always seems to be a player over out this near side too. Amy Hamill's made a good run. It won't come her way though. It will be the full forward, drops it in. Goalkeeper drops it, recovers possession of the ball, goes to ground. It will be a free out. Option was here for Amy Hamill.
Yeah, the option was there for Chloe. She should have given it on to Amy Hamill. Was off her shoulder and she should have given it on to her.
That's full forward fee.
Yeah.
Always want to get the ball. But when you're in a rich vein of form as well, like she scored a goal last week, 2 points this week already, you sort of think to yourself, well, you have to back yourself in those situations, don't you?
Of course you do, and it's great to see Chloe back as well. Like, she was a very talented underage player.
Yeah.
Played a wee bit of senior football for Monaghan, but it's great to see her back this year, playing for Monaghan and getting a wee bit
last year, didn't she? And then, of course, as
she
well,
was travelling in for the summer.
But she's back now, along with Kieran Cairns, the manager from Clones, of course he is as well.
Mm-hmm.
And ball down this near side is familiar territory for him here as Haggerty takes possession. Corrigan, Mulgrew giving support. Haggerty continues to run. She's been challenged though well by Garland, and eventually gets it back inside to Emma Jane Gervin. Emma Jane Gervin over Corrigan. Takes too much out of it and could be in trouble here.
Mm-hmm. It's great to see, when you look at players and the commitment and dedication they have to play. And I'm not just boasting because they're from Donaghmine, but Amy and Lauren and Rosemary Courtney back, played up into the the end of December, right. Paddy, and then they're back out playing the National League game at the end of January. Like, it's full 12 months. Absolutely, some commitment involved in that, and a yellow card here for Emma Jane Gervin. The referee obviously feels she came across the player, and in the challenge was illegal, and it will be a free, but more importantly from a Tyrone point of view, it's a yellow card. Sides down to 14 each. 14 each, yeah, and Monaghan hopefully now weather the storm over the next few minutes. The score at the minute is Monaghan 0-2, Tyrone 1-1. So Amy Garland's down there injured. She's been through the wars his last 12 months, you could say, playing for Donaghmine and that. So Mark, the physio, will try to get her back up and going again, because she's definitely a really good player for this team. Monaghan have conceded a goal and a point in the spell so far, and to be fair to Monaghan, they've latched on a point themselves. So in the spell of the card, but this is worrying here for Garland. She seems to certainly picked up a knock, and physio was tending to her down there below us. Full back there, Jennifer Duffy, not too worried. She's still bouncing the ball and getting it in a few toe taps and organising things. Both sides down to 14 players. We've played just coming up to 13 minutes. I see what do you call it, whenever it comes to the man mark, and I see Maeve Mallon is being picked up by Rosemary Courtney, so she's really keeping a close eye on her as well, There's a quality about Maeve Mallon, of course. Done a lot of travelling over the past few years, but an integral part in 2018 when Tyrone won the All-Ireland Intermediate. Jennifer Duffy striding forward, close down, gets it to Courtney though. Courtney thought about the pass for a split second, decides to go it alone. Long ball in from Courtney, and an excellent point from the experienced Rosemary Courtney. Good finish. Yeah, it's great to see Rosemary back. As I say, she only came on last week, but it's great to see her starting today and leading by example. The experience and the know-how that she has. And another player will need a wee bit of treatment. The referee having a close look there as well. Can't see from her angle. The physio was blocking us, but it's Jennifer Duffy. She went down in that as she released that initial ball, I think. But certainly nothing to do with conditions this afternoon. The pitch immaculate, and credit to everybody here at St Tyrone Park for the way they have these facilities again.
Excellent facilities, no doubt about that. Mark Dockery, the physio, tends to the injured player. She's back up under her feet, and the kick out comes out this near side. Bit of work to be done, and Haggerty hits the AstroTurf down below us. Garland gets and the referee will call it forward. To be fair to Haggerty, she came across her. Garland didn't know much about it, but it will be free. And an opportunity here for Monaghan to engineer something once again. McBride's very, very physical, very strong there. You can see her matching up in there with the Tyrone 29, Orla Mulgrew, and there's a bit more about her, isn't there?
There is, yeah.
Physicality.
I suppose the work that's been done in ladies football now as well is immense with the strength and conditioning, you know.
Well, there's a big mistake there from a Monaghan point of view. Easily won there by Chloe McCaffrey. She gets the benefit of the referee's whistle as well, gets the free kick away. And Tyrone on the offensive here with an early opportunity, or a first touch really for in this game for Jane Lyons. She gets a second now, and then we'll lay it off to Haggerty down this right hand side. More aloof, of course, to playing perhaps in the more forward role. She lays the ball, takes the return pass, looks up to see his options, but it's a weak enough pass. Mullen lays it off once again. Canavan over the top, nice ball out that far side, and they seem to be a wee bit hesitant in just taking the initial ball on and carrying it on, Mel.
Yeah, definitely. If you look at Monaghan, I suppose they've 14 players behind the ball.
Yeah.
They've only one player up front, and Tyrone have 3. Tyrone are still, I suppose, panicking about Monaghan breaking out in the pack and pushing on and getting an extra score. But I see there in Monaghan's midfielder Mirren Axon begin ready to come back on there soon as well. So the 10 minutes don't be long going in, Paddy.
Absolutely not. Well, it's a good rule when it's adhered to correctly, and certainly the referee and his officials this afternoon doing a good job. Ball inside once again. McHugh out that far side, tries to get away from the marker, but she go for the score. She thought about it, decides to put the ball back inside, takes the return for Maria Canavan. McHugh out the far side. It's a wasteful pass, so Anastasia intercepted there by Emma Clarkin, who will try and turn defence into attack. Quick movement here from Monaghan required, though, as Tyrone filtered 3 players back again. And Monaghan appear, bar one, have everybody behind the ball, but now start to break out this near side, picked up now by Garland. McBride out this near side. She's been so effective. Real tussle between her and the number 2 Maeve Monaghan. Trying to get away again from Corrigan. Continues to run, spins away, gets the shot in, and that one has went wide.
Yeah. But in fairness, she had no options there. She was being marked by 2 players there. In fairness, they know how dangerous Chloe is. So, but Monaghan needs to be off her shoulder, helping her, supporting her as much as possible. But both sides are so threat, that they have, and Monaghan defence and Tyrone defence both know that they need to track back as much as possible, and help and support their teams. And you were talking about there earlier, Paddy, about the physicality in ladies football. It's went up two or three notches over the last couple of years, the strength and conditioning of these players.
Well, if you look at the senior sides in the country and the quality they are bringing to the scene now at the minute, there's no doubt about that. I know the officials down below us, the Monaghan officials, keen to get Atkinson back on again, but the referee, it is playing time, of course, and we wouldn't have played this probably the full 10 minutes just yet, but won't be far off it, that's for sure. Over carrying again, Tyrone
double bounce. In fairness,
making mistakes.
In fairness, the referee, Paddy, any call he's making, he's up with play. He's making these calls, and nobody's really,
Well, it's Monaghan in the offensive. Coyle, nice ball inside again to Courtney. She knows who the target is, decides to lay it off this time to Coyle, and then takes the return pass once again. Courtney's been very, very effective in the attack so far. Takes the return pass again. There's 3 around her, 4 around her, but still manages to get the ball away out that right-hand side. And that one goes wide. But Monaghan have enjoyed plenty of ball, and they look a bit more critical going forward, don't they?
Yeah,
a wee bit more about them.
There is, but again, in fairness to Tyrone, they're tracking back. They know where the dangers are. I see Monaghan's back up to 15 there now. Again, Mirren Axon's back on it, and I see Jodie McQuellen was to start off in midfield. She was really good last year, and even in the club football for Castleblaney when we went on and won the junior club, and she moved into full forward, but she hasn't got onto the ball at all, and I suppose Tyrone know her danger as well,
A player out of it seems to be so far Slana McCarroll hasn't really touched the ball yet. She's been, I'm just looking at her name there to make sure she was even on. Jane Lyons is another who's getting very minimal ball at this stage, so see how that develops. McCaffrey tries to break away now, tries to maybe her clubmate McCarroll is in there looking for it now. Comes back out again. Mallon. Will the ball go through to Haggerty? Ball is going through to Haggerty, but it will be easily intercepted once again. And Tyrone guilty of some very, very silly errors at this stage. And Monaghan are keen to take full advantage. They've had a couple of opportunities at that top end, the Rosslea Road end, and they're on the break again with Monaghan. Maeve Monaghan down this left-hand side. Takes a return pass. This is promising from the wee blondie. Trying to get away from the marker. Corrigan closing her down. Gets the ball into the centre once again. Whereas Courtney, who's pulling all the strings so far, to the number 11 out that far side, to McBride out that far side. Lays it back again. And perhaps maybe taking too much out of it. And, well, it looked to be a foul the opposite direction, but there you go. The referee is right up on the play, and an opportunity here for Monaghan to nudge themselves ahead.
I suppose, Paddy, if you look at both sides,
level rather.
Yeah, the backs on both sides are pushing the forward out, so they can't, shoot from a short distance. That they would have to shoot from distance, and it's creating so much problems. And then they're overturning the ball. There's great score by Jodie McClellan.
Yeah, fine score from Jodie McClellan. Tyrone trying to get Emma Jane Gervin back into the mix again. Sides level here at St Tyrnix Park in Clonus. Level for the first time, and that comes on 20 minutes. But a good score from McClellan, and always good to have a good free taker. And the challenge comes in there on Garland, and it will be a free. Monaghan just wanting to take things easy. No panic with them, Neil, that's for sure. Very, very considered what they're doing.
Definitely so. And in fairness, whenever they went that goal down, when that penalty went in, in fairness, they settled down and they went through the motions, and they came back, and it's a draw game now.
McBride trying to take possession of the ball. Challenge comes in, and the return passes out this near side to Atkinson. Very, very effective so far since he's come back in already. Long probing ball from Clerkin. And that is a superb score from Emma Clerkin from almost 40 metres out.
Yeah, great to see, and that's where they should be shooting from distance, especially the forwards at the inter-county level, especially when you're being pushed out so much as well. So that's good, great score by Emma.
Well, the sides, as I say, meet in the Ulster Intermediate Championship. This man beside me is the man in charge of all the fixtures in Ulster this year. Big task for him, of course, ahead as well. We'll maybe talk about that between the break and this one. Tyrone trying to one possession back. Work to be done for Emma Haggerty, who's been all over the park, carrying injury last year. She's back to full fitness again. One of the veterans now of this side. There's not many of that old guard still knocking around, though, Neil, you'd have to say.
No.
But she's certainly one of them. Nice ball to Mulgrew. Mulgrew to Haggerty again. Challenge comes in. Her and Garland's having a real ding-dong battle down there. That's for sure.
Yeah. Definitely the man marking there between the two of them is pretty tight. They're not giving each other an inch.
Interesting to see Sean O'Kane there signaling to put that ball in. They're demanding Chloe McCaffrey to put that ball in there because they've been very, very ineffective really to open up the challenges. Challenge comes in there though. Stana McCarroll got the ball away. Tried to find McCaffrey and she was fouled. And Tyrone physio Sean Frizzy about the tender, but she's okay. And McCarroll now will try and engineer something. No trademark red headband today. Out this right hand side, challenge comes in, will be a line ball. The referee having a wee look there just to see where it is, and McCarroll will try and engineer something here. But Tyrone haven't been as forceful as they could be. They've enjoyed plenty of ball, but they haven't been direct, and they've had chances to take the ball on but haven't taken them. Challenge comes in, and the referee was standing just watching that one now.
What's the decision he's going to make?
He's having a word with Chloe McCaffrey. And he's the Monaghan player's down injured.
It's Maren Atkinson, isn't it?
No action going to be taken by the referee.
Just noted.
It's just noted, yeah. So I suppose you need to be careful in situations like that, that's for sure. Referee has pulled the ball forward now to the Monaghan 45 metre line, and the free will be taken from there. And player has been reintroduced now, Emma Jane Girvan.
Okay, back to full complement.
Back to the full complement again.
Yeah.
How long will that last? Are you just wondering a game like this now, because there's a couple of wee challenges going in there. It's hard hitting, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. So the high tackles and all, the girls have to be so careful. Even though we touched on early on about the physicality of it.
High balling, superb bit of fielding there, superb bit of work there from young Maeve Corrigan. Gets the ball forward. Tyrone maybe lacking the pace that they had last week. Was Niamh Hughes obviously been unavailable. Grania Rafferty unavailable there today as well. McCaffrey driving forward. She's got Mallon for company. She will carry it on herself though. Brushes aside the challenge. Gets the shot in, and that is going to drop short. And well, you'd expect those to go over. You need to be scoring those now.
You would indeed. But it's strange to see, I suppose, the likes of Chloe McCaffrey is out so far in the pitch, and you really want her closer to the goals, but that's the pressure the Bonner's putting under Tyrone today as well, that she has to come out so far and to get the ball, Paddy. But then you look at on the Monaghan side as well, the ball's been kicked in long, and there's always somebody there from the Tyrone side to
a little tussle for possession out that far side once again. Barker gets a touch of the ball. Has been quiet in this first half as well. Life's been difficult in there for the Tyrone defender. The ball given away, and Monaghan on the offensive here once again. And Monaghan just looked at that wee edge. Rosemary Courtney lays it back. Atkinson out this near side. Takes a return pass. Lovely piece of play to Atkinson. Through the centre it goes. An opportunity perhaps here on the left hand side. Shot comes in from Coyle. Good finish.
Yeah, I suppose the likes of the Monaghan team there have settled more, and it's good. It's great to see it as well, Paddy, from last week, from losing, heavily enough last week to Laois, to come back this week and to put the hard work in the first half. But both teams are making mistakes, and I suppose both sides, Sean O'Keefe and Kieran Cairns, are trying to find their team and their settled panel and that. So it is a day to make mistakes, but as long as they're learning from them.
And mistakes made last week in the first half against Roscommon, or colleague Ariel pointed that out in the first half coverage. But Tyrone improved in the second half, and perhaps Sean O'Keefe will be thinking it'll be the same situation here today as well, as Kelly under a wee bit of pressure gets the ball away down this near side, and real tussle for possession down here. Good work from Clarkin. Gets it back inside then to Brady over the top. The player was away there, was the number 11, Leanne Maguire. I think she had the next pass made before she got the ball there, even she was thinking about it, but she has managed to get out that far side to Garland. Back it comes across again to Lockman. Familiar Monaghan name, of course, Lockman. And she takes possession of the ball now. And of course, where else? Carrick Macross. Where else should she be from? Well, a name like Lockman. As the ball comes to Courtney over the top it goes. Tyrone caught at 6s and 7s. The shot comes in from distance into the hands of the goalkeeper, Caitlin Donnelly. And a chance for Tyrone to relieve that pressure and get the ball up lower into the park. It goes to McCaffrey, Corrigan there lending support as well. Mulgrew there too. It goes into the middle to McHugh. McHugh's trying to break forward to Captain Afornia. Tyrone, ball inside once again. The High Iron Club, of course. Yeah. Fine stalwarts over the years at all codes of football.
That's really been leading by a captain's role there, really, in fairness. Davy McHugh there from Tyrone there from Ahayarn, big strong physical player, but be able to carry the ball as well. But if you look at Tyrone, typically what you are known for, Paddy, is the blanket defence that was there. They could push Monaghan really out there, and we had a shoot from distance and just shot into the goalkeeper's hands. We probably should have a few more scores on the board at this stage, but both sides hopefully are learning from their mistakes. Both sides are making good runs and getting good scores as well.
Corrigan, you mentioned McHugh, and of course Ahayarn, and our minds go back 50 years to the sad passing of former Tyrone captain Brendan Dolan, of course, great stalwart. Some wonderful articles about him there. It's terrible to think it's a lifetime ago now for so many, but the Ahayarn club continue to build and work very, very hard, and certainly talking to Davy, she was so pleased to be named as captain as McCarroll tries to drive forward, gets a touch of the ball. Out this right hand side it goes once again. McCaffrey goes to ground on the challenge there. Good work from Maria Canavan. Been quiet so far, Maria. Just bar the goal and the point. pass back outside to McHugh. Back it comes. And then we'll go for the shot from distance. Trusty left foot. Fine score.
Yeah, that came from a mistake made by Monaghan. They'd broken down. They had thrown attack, Paddy, but we unfortunately gave the ball away easily. And then his sharpshooter, Maria Cameron, put it straight over the bar with her trusty left foot.
Worryingly, that's their first score since the 9th minute. And that's, as an issue. The referee's gone over to talk to an official on the far side, Mirusha, and told to keep his nose out, I think, by the looks of Gavin Finnegan. So kick out from Kelly on this right hand side as we look out. Haggerty went for it, but it was well held by Atkinson. And look at the gap opening up here from a Monaghan point of view. Ball inside from Maguire. She goes for it herself and she drives that in, and that is an excellent score. The ball won in the middle of the park and delivered with a fine score from Leanne Maguire.
Yeah, in fairness, Mirren played a real captain's role there. She went up into the clouds and caught that ball and gave the ball on to Leanne, and Leanne done what she's done well all year for Mara Clune, put the ball straight over the bar.
Fine score. 7 points to 1-2 now. 2 between them. Tyrone on the offensive again. They're using this right hand side so often now, aren't they, Niall? So obvious that this seems to be the best opportunity for them.
Yeah, if you look at what you call it, Orla McGrew and Chloe McCaffrey seems to be getting the majority of the ball that is kicked out from your goalkeeper. Lovely
bit of defending there from a Monaghan point of view, and they've done very well. It will be a hot ball by the referee. And physio Mark Dockery going out just to check on the number 2 there, Maeve Monaghan, or the number 10, Amy Garland, who's been in the wars this afternoon, that's for sure. And that referee going to hop the ball.
Mark's been treating her his last 12 months, suppose, he's also the physio for Dunamine as well, so he knows Amy Garland really well. He knows all her aches and pains that she has had, so he's no better man.
Referee wanting to settle things down here. A wee bit of pulling and shoving going on. Eventually the ball is hopped, and eventually Atkinson gets a hand onto it. And the referee looking at his watch as well, I'm sure, because it's coming up to the half-time interval here at St Chinnock's Park in Clones. Very much Monaghan in the driving seat and driving forward here once again down this left-hand side. Courtney trying to burst away. Gets to McBride. Pass out. Very intelligent pass to Shauna Coyle. Coyle to McBride. Back across again. Great use of triangles. Great piece of work being done here as Garland goes from distance. And that is a superb, intelligent score.
Yeah, great score.
That's one of those points worth admission, money.
Definitely so. And you've seen from, suppose, Monaghan from last week when them more experienced players came on after half time, you could see the strength and depth that they had within their panel, and these girls are really working hard today.
Foul comes in there, and referee will have to deal with that. McBride opened the scoring, of course, with a fine pass from Courtney. Added to that tally was a free, and despite the fact that Tyrone did get a goal and point in quick succession, it's been Monaghan who have, I would say, dominated, but certainly enjoyed the bulk of the play.
Yeah, I suppose they have, and Monaghan's really pushed on as well to get any opportunities, even whenever that goal went in, Paddy, as well. They never dropped their heads, and they seem to always want to go forward, push on and try to get the next score, and it seems to be working for them up to half time. Sit down.
Well, the referee does blow the half time whistle. 8 points to 1-2. Work to be done for Tyrone the second half now.
Yeah, definitely so, yeah, because I really thought whenever Tyrone got that goal, Paddy, I thought would have been a player up as well, but both defences are working really, really well. So Monaghan has got the better hand of it. They seem that if they want to get more scores, they need to score from distance, because both defences are really, really tight and strong, and even you can see that Tyrone blanket defence across there, dropping back, and even Monaghan at times, we said there in the first 10 or 15 minutes that 14 players behind the ball, so neither side wants to concede 2 or 3 goals, because that could be the changing of this game. But Monaghan have 8 scores on the board compared to 5 scores from Tyrone. But yeah, it's great to see this new Monaghan team come in through, and as people says that they're through transition and and so forth. But yeah, and Kieran Cairns and his backroom team have done serious amount of work, and if you look at Sean O'Keane as well, he's gone through transition as well, Paddy. So both managers will be wanting to get 2 points on the board today, but especially more so for Monaghan to hit the ground running, to get 2 points in this National League, to get a bit of confidence in this team and this panel and this management team. And we need to see more supporters out to support our games too, Paddy.
Absolutely, no doubt about that.
This is what these girls deserve, as much as the men do, as we talked about earlier on about the strength and conditioning, about the commitment that is needed to be an inter-county player now. Why not give these girls the support that they deserve as well?
Half time here at St Tierna's Park in Clones. It is Monaghan who have the advantage. 8 points to Tyrone's 1-2. We'll be back with live exclusive coverage here in the Lidl Lilies National Football League Division 2 clash here from Clones in a few moments. Welcome back to St Tiernach's Park in Clone. A welcoming cup of tea courtesy of PRO Erin Trinner O'Neill, whatever you want to call her. Erin Toss will do alright because she's brilliant. Brought us a nice cup of tea there, and thanks for that. And we're just talking as Monaghan make their way in the park. Tyrone have been out very early, Niall. Is that an indication of what they want to bring to the second half? They find themselves 8 points to 1-2 down. They can't afford to go any further behind, can they?
No, definitely not. I suppose they're out to make a statement here, and they want to hit the ground running from the start. There's a wee bit of wind you can see out there as well,
and it's picked up and it's greasy underfoot. I'm just looking as well, and Tyrone warming up a few subs.
They are indeed. And I suppose Monaghan was doing that just before half time as well. Yeah, and you spoke a bit there, or you alluded to a bit the greasiness. We spoke to the officials there at half time. It is a wee bit greasy under the foot, so girls need to be careful with their tackling and so forth in the second half. But really looking forward to the second half. It's 10-3 on a cold last Sunday in January here in Clonus, but
still
it's
January.
All to play. Yeah.
It's still January.
But it's all to play for here.
It's still January. I forgot it was because it seems to be going on for at least 4 months now at this stage. But anyway, we are underway. Second half underway. Tyrone keen to get into these. Often said the scoring goals here at St Tiernach's Park is the Rossley end, so we'll wait to see how that develops. Ball picked up by Lyons down this left hand side. Most of the stuff came down the right in the first half from a Tyrone point of view. Ball inside to McCarroll. McCarroll does well, tries to get away from the marker, gets a shot in, but it's an effort that curls away wide. And remarkably, that's why Tyrone's second wide.
Exactly, yeah. But if you look at Slan and McConnell, Sean O'Kane will really want her to get her into the game in the second half, because she's been a really, powerful player for the
Chloe forward now. They've Chloe a bit more and deeper in there as well, and Maria there leading the charge too. So it's a wee bit switcheroo, shall we say, at this stage. Maeve Mallon coming out more around the centre of the field. Former midfielder, of course.
Yeah. If you see whenever the whistle was blown, whenever the whistle was blown, straight away number 24 Lauren Garland dropped straight back what she'd done in the first half.
Look at that for quality there from Maeve Monaghan. She wanted that ball and she wasn't going to say no. And it's come her way, and she immediately gets the attack going down this right hand side inside to Shauna Coyle. Scored a fine point or so in the first half, gives it back again, but we'll take a return pass. Tyrone's defence not equal to it, causing themselves a few problems. Back out it comes to Atkinson, who's been so effective in this game, despite the fact she was out for 10 minutes. She's played a key role.
It's been really a captain's role, and that's what you want from your captain, leading from the front, leading from the start.
And she's only a young player, isn't she?
Yeah, she's 24, 25 years of age, so she's young, but plenty of experience at county level and played at that high standard for DCU as well. So come here, she needs to step up here and to show the really captaincy.
Well, Monaghan on the offensive here once again. They have players over. They always just seem to have that extra wee spurt. Coyle out this right hand side to Atkinson, trying to get away from the marker. 10 takes the shot, but her effort's going to drop short. A touch on that from the defence there, and the pressure averted ever so slightly. Block comes down, and the ball will be cleared. Tyrone, of course, just scored the 1-2. 1-1 in the opening 9 minutes, and then the next score coming at 29 minutes. And in reality, they only had one effort to drop short in that first half.
There's an awful lot of recycling of the ball being done, as you obviously see that in ladies football, but a lot of mistakes been made as well, as you see from both sides, and Tyrone's made a real bad mistake, and Mirren
Atkinson pouring through, leaving Michaela Moore in her wake, gets the ball back inside once again, gets the final pass out here to Maguire. Maguire from distance is going to spin away up in real Gary Owen style, and the wind has picked up, Niall, since the first half. The sun that we had is gone as well. The brightness is gone. It's starting to become very overcast. Could be a chance of rain. Turned into Borough Best here, but as we speak, it does start. The conditions seem to be changing.
Both sides are making mistakes, as you can see, even within the second half. It's that nervousness of Paddy, I suppose, that more younger, inexperienced players there as well, and Tyrone should have scored a point. Monaghan should have scored a point. Now Tyrone's going forward here with a chance.
Mullen tries to put the ball through, but again the effort drops short, and again Monaghan will try and contest it in there. The referee said it will be a free out, and just a comment on the referee, he's been very effective, very good up with the play. And the quality of the officials so far in the National League have been excellent. Very, very good, and it's great to see us in Ulster. We have 9 of the referees on the national panel as well, so it's great to see as well. And you're not biased or nothing? No, definitely not. Absolutely.
You have to get the dig in, though. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good stuff. But it is a true testament to the work that has been done as Garland gets the ball away out that far side. Atkinson always seems to be out. She's all over the park this afternoon. She's been the main go-getter. Her and Rosemary Courtney have been exceptionally good so far. McQuillan in there too. Great first half from her. Lays the ball back. And Monaghan in control of the possession. Courtney is fouled. There will be a free in here. And you would consider Tyrone will make maybe one or two changes here. There's a couple of players going through very intensive warm-ups down below us. Among them, Lee McElduff. There's one of them I can see down there.
I see Monaghan's doing something similar as well. They'll want to get a few more players on the pitch. You know, it's hard to keep going for that 60 minutes of that inter-county level. You know, the fitness level that you need, and that's why you use the strength and depth of your panel, Paddy. You know, and that's
lovely
why you
work.
want these girls.
McBride from distance. Fine effort, fine score from Chloe McBride. Now she's certainly come into her own this afternoon after a poor enough performance last week, and her, she did get a goal last week, but she wasn't happy really, and I suppose Monaghan weren't really happy overall.
No, definitely not. You know, and you want to put that game behind you, Paddy, and you want to push on, and you want to win the next game and do the best you can. And even they've seen in the second half now, they pushed. The referee's gone over to have a word with.
And that looks like Hugh Donnelly on the far side, and the referee's going to have a word with him. He has been named as part of the management team, so maybe obviously the referee not happy.
Just getting back to the game, Paddy, the see there now for the second half, they pushed Jodie McQuillan into full forward. They pulled Chloe McBride out a wee bit, so her and Leanne Maguire is going to be working really closely together. So they're going to be working that sort of a try square. Yeah, try square.
Yeah, Donnelly will that kick out into the middle, but the referee said there was an illegal challenge there, and it will be a free for Tyrone. A chance for them to get the ball up the park. And the free kick in the middle of the park for Tyrone taken. But they need to be getting the ball up the park as Emma Jane Gervin there takes that free long ball inside. The ball is going to bounce. McCaffrey's in there, gets a touch on it and turns it to the net. And that is a fine finish from Chloe McCaffrey, and that is what McCaffrey can do best.
Yeah, real striker. You know, the Monaghan was more so watching the ball than we're watching the player there, and she had just one eye on the goal. You know, in fairness to her, she came in. The goalkeeper's got injured here now as well, but real strikers. Opportunity there, and that brings
just
the back into the game.
The high ball in from Emma Jane Gervin, the right ball in, and finished the net down by McCaffrey. It was a race against the two players, and she done well.
Yeah, she was coming in really far. You could even see Emma Jane, whenever she went to take the kick in, she really looked for Chloe, and Chloe was making that sideward spread straight into the goal, you know, and she does what she does well, puts the ball in the back of the net. Yeah,
changes the complexion of this game completely.
Definitely so, yeah.
It's a 1 point game now, and entertaining stuff, it has to be said, on the second weekend of the Lidl National League. Just looking to see, is there any other scores knocking around at this stage? Early, of course, in the afternoon. Just looking for Tyrone supporters there. It's Roscommon 2-9, Tyrone 1-10 in the Alliance National Football League. Let's see, is there any other ladies' results? Nothing coming through just yet. And we'll keep an eye on things as the clock from just over the hill there, the Nuns Hill at St Tyrone Park in Clonus signals it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We've just almost played 8 minutes, and physio Mark Dockery having a word there with Orna Kelly, and they don't appear to be warming up their number one this afternoon, who was to be Alana O'Donoghue or O'Donoghue, whatever the situation is there. But like Tyrone, maybe they may have a couple of injuries.
Yeah, Monaghan seem to have a couple of injuries as well, because they seem to only have a panel of 23, 24 players, but yeah, hopefully they'll be able to counteract that score and get the next score.
Well, Kelly takes her time with a kick out there, caused a few issues, maybe a few appeals from not the sparse enough attendance, and as you said just before the break, now these players deserve a better turnout here, because there's days certainly where you'd see a couple of thousand people here at the National League game for men. So You'd expect a similar outcome for the ladies, as the ball is with Jennifer Duffy on the far side. Nice pass to Atkinson. Again, it's about how Monaghan respond, as they did in the first half. They done well. Atkinson from distance. Atkinson's effort, though, is curled away wide. It's their 5th wide in this encounter. And Caitlin Donnelly with the kick out away to her right hand side.
It would have been good there for Monaghan to get that score, to really settle the team down after, Tyrone getting that goal and that. But yeah, just
kick outs are working there for Tyrone too. Just going to make a point there. Caitlin Donnelly doing well with her kick outs this afternoon.
Both goalkeepers seem to be finding their players, in fairness, Paddy, so they do.
Mulgrew to Canavan. Canavan's knocked over the top again. McCaffrey's hovering about there with intent, but it will come out this near side to Garland, and doing well under pressure. McCaffrey then trying to close her down. The ball goes up skyward once again. Garland under a bit of pressure. Referee says it will be a free though, and the free about to be taken, and taken very, very quickly. There's a bit of urgency about both sides, Niall. You would notice that, wouldn't you? And the referee said that Shauna Coyle overcarried the ball.
But in fairness to Shauna, she had nobody here looking up the wing for the ball. She had it to her back in herself, and in fairness, the Tyrone player made her overcarry the ball. We need to see a wee bit more urgency about the Monaghan team, and a wee bit more flexibility, and a wee bit more helping and support there as much as possible.
Michaela McCabe about to be drafted in for Monaghan. She was to start the game but didn't, and Tyrone contemplating changes as well. An injury to one of the the attackers there. I'm not going to see who it is. Looks to be, is it Chloe McCaffrey or Slana McCarroll maybe? She's got maybe a finger in the eye perhaps. I'll wait to see how that develops. And the physio going to have a word as well with Orna Kelly once again. Still maybe not the best after that challenge with McCaffrey, but an excellent piece of play, it has to be said, and a real forwards ball.
No, definitely. So she's always that sort of a poacher, Chloe McCaffrey. She's always hard to watch. Even that last attacking play by Tyrone there, Lauren Garland, she knew she was there. She had to get the ball, and she got it straight away to her sister Amy. So we know the threat that Tyrone brings to this game, so we just have to be very, very cautious. These players, the likes of the Chloe McCaffreys.
Nice piece of play from the Tyrone defence once again.
This sort of wing doesn't seem to be working for Monaghan at all in the start of the second half. They try to be coming up this wing, straight in front of us with the ball, but they seem to be losing it or over-carrying it or losing it as much as possible. The players aren't seem to be looking for the ball.
And Tyrone on the offensive here. They now seem to have players over. Canavan from distance. It's going to drop, and that is a score worthy of the admission money, as we said in the first half. That's a great score to level things.
Brilliant score by Maria Canavan, but again, we give her too much time on the ball. She had too much time to take her score as well, but she's able to shoot from distance, 40 yards out. Paddy, great score over the bar with her left foot.
Good score, and trusty left foot, and it's one back here by McCarroll. McCarroll tries to close in. She's been challenged though, still has possession of the ball, puts the ball over the top. An opportunity for McCaffrey, and the referee calls it back, and that was an opportunity there, but free awarded.
Free out, he threw the ball, he said,
awarded,
he said through the ball,
It's been an entertaining game. Both sides have played some good football.
Definitely so, and I suppose you could say that Tyrone has really come out in the second half, and they made that statement, been out first before half time, and they've pushed on really. They got that goal, Paddy.
You said it, Neil. They were, obviously a team with a bit of intent about them. Courtney does well onto the challenge. Two players there hanging off her really, and the free kick awarded to Rosemary Courtney.
Yeah, I suppose Tyrone had a good talk at half time. They knew the real danger players that Monaghan had, and the players was going to attack the ball and bring the ball into that scoring positions, and I suppose Rosemary Courtney is one of them, and there's two players hanging over there, and in fairness, she is a real leader in this Monaghan team.
There was nothing between the sides last year when they met at Musa in Cookstown, and nothing between them here this afternoon either, despite the fact there was 3 at half time. But despite Chloe McBride's fine point just after the restart, a goal from McCaffrey and a point from Canavan, 2 key scores from a Tyrone point of view as Courtney goes forward. Tyrone have to defend here. Challenge comes in, and an illegal challenge there on Chloe McBride, and it will be a free as Marcella or Michaela McCabe comes in here from a Monaghan perspective.
If you looked at Paddy there, whenever she was going for that ball there, Chloe McCaffrey, she looked around her, she would have had to take her player on, because there's 3 defenders there. There was only one Monaghan forward in there as well. So if Monaghan's going to get more scores off the shoulder, they need to push on. In fairness, there's a substitute being made there. Jodie McQuillan, it just wasn't her day. You know, she just couldn't get on.
Played well in the first half.
Yeah, she done best she could. You know, she had a great season last year. She had a great club campaign for Castleblaney, and she brought them into an All-Ireland series as well. So it just wasn't her day, and that's why you have a panel of players for somebody else to come on and to try their best. You know,
Kiva McGee about to be introduced from Namoy. Fergal come down below us there, haven't given her last minute instructions as McBride drops this one in off the crossbar, turned to the net, and it hasn't went in. It has. And there's great delight from the Monaghan players coming out, that's for sure. And I think it might have been, was it
number 10, was it Amy Garland?
It was Amy Garland got the final touch to it, so that changes this game again.
Yeah, really does, and it's great. It's what Monaghan really, really needed there as well, in fairness.
Tyrone defence didn't deal with. Amy Garland was there to push it home. Good game in her hands, it has to be said. Entertaining game.
Definitely so, Paddy,
still very much in the mix, so to speak, with 16 minutes on the clock here.
Well kept in. Islana, well kept in.
She manages to keep it in and manages to try and steer Tyrone forward here once again. Ball out to Canavan. The wrong foot for her though on this occasion. And good intelligent play there from Michaela Moore. Corrigan's continuing to run down the far side. It is from McHugh. It goes to Corrigan on that far side. Mounds dropped into the full forward role. Wearing number 14 as she did, but more central, as is Eva Horish. But the referee is going to give the free. And then McGee comes in.
Yeah, I'd say, what do you call it? Kiva was probably disappointed she wasn't started, but she's going to get her chance.
She's carrying a knock. She was carrying she was very tight apparently. I was talking to Noel Kane before this one, and he was saying that she was carrying a knock into this one. So comes in for Moore, and the free kick on the far side should be Maria Canavan. The referee's having a word over there.
I just look at both sides, Paddy, there, and it was really, whenever you looked at that last attack there, that Monaghan had 14 players behind the ball. Tyrone has the same. The defensive setups that they have is really, really well. They must be really working on it behind the scenes.
Canavan dropping this one in, dropped to the goalkeeper, and square ball, but
could have went anywhere.
Opportunity again, yeah.
Them high balls coming in, Paddy. That's not one thing for, it's. The managers has their flicking heart in their mouth whenever the ball comes in high like that,
Dangerous. Dangerous ball, that's for sure. But substitutions made, and back into the fray once again. Karen will be happy with her fine goal just a few moments ago, and you just seen the delight in her face as she got a hand on that one on the offensive here again. McBride, who teed up that goal, she's tugged back. The referee lets the play go. High ball in, and then the free will be awarded from close range. But the 3 points between them again, and again, Monaghan have showed to come back into the game. They were, the sides were level, and all of a sudden, they settled themselves, got back into the game, and nudged themselves ahead.
But they needed to get that goal. There was a goal that was needed. I know it's only 10 minutes gone in the second half or whatever, but Monaghan, the points weren't going to come as easy as I thought. You would have needed to get a goal to bring them back into the play there, but Chloe McBride up here is causing so much hassle to this full back line in Tyrone, and she's really having a great game today.
I'm alone about to be introduced. Young Fintona player. The new faces in the squad. About to be drafted in. Coming in for Aoife Horish for the final 12 minutes or so of this one, but still very much in the melting pot despite that. But a score now would give Monaghan that key 4-point advantage.
Yeah, definitely so, and that's leaves it 2 scores.
She's accurate all afternoon, and she certainly makes her mark again. Another good score from her, and good free, good score. and the deficit is now up to 4. 13 points to 9, and good finish.
Yeah, she won the free.
You need a good free taker, don't you? There's no doubt about that.
You do. And both sides seem to have them, which is good.
Corrigan back more and more into the game. She was great in the first half, went out of it a wee bit, and then now back into it again. Ball on that far side to Mullen. Tries to get away from the marker. Nice pass inside. Tyrone on the offensive. But the wayward pass from McGee. And Tyrone find themselves under the cosh here once again. Bit of trouble.
Yeah.
They're leaving themselves with plenty of work to do, and allowing Emma Clergan to come forward once again. Good first half from her, and gets a free now for trouble again. And Monaghan about to make a change here as well. It's going to be the number 19, Aoife Burns.
Yeah, Aoife Burns, yeah.
Just announcement of that earlier substitution from Tyrone, and now Monaghan are introducing Aoife Burns.
Say for Shauna Kyle, probably.
From Donamoyne, of course, another fine footballer, of course.
She played an All-Ireland club final that day against Kilcairn Cumlairn as well, you know, so she's
a lot of experience.
Vastly experienced, and such a young player. And Leanne Maguire actually is coming on for number 11.
Good performance from her today. Good point in the first half, of course, as well. And McBride, intelligent play from her. Gets the ball back in. And interesting to see as well that Atkinson's went into a more deeper role now as well, even. Not panicking, just, being more effective. Keeping things right. Shot comes in. That effort goes wide. 6th wide from a Monaghan point of view. Yeah. Caitlin Donnelly was the kick out. Mullen tries to get a hand onto it out there, and she can't. She's picked up a knock in the process. The referee has called it back. Shannon Swissy will make her way across to try and tender.
Nick, the pressure that Jennifer Duffy has put on under there. You can see there's 3 thrown players around her. They didn't want to give Monaghan an opportunity to get a score at all. So it's really, the work rate for both defences today is really, really good. And you can see the work that they're doing behind the scenes in the training sessions and so forth. So hats off to Sean O'Keehan and to Kieran Kieran, for the work rate that they're doing with both teams. Well,
Aoife McGahan being drafted in. And for Slanna McCarroll. No, McCarroll's gone out to a more central role. Let's see who is coming off. It's one of the
number 12.
One of the younger players.
Jane Lyons. Vera.
Free kick away. We've played 22 minutes. It is 1-10 to Monaghan, 2-3. To Tyrone. Monaghan on the offensive again. Trying to work the ball in. Niall doing well with.
Yeah, definitely. So when it was just a pity that, didn't it? Yeah, because I seen Amy Garland there. She recycled the ball. She didn't panic. She didn't take a shot on when the shot wasn't there. But then, unfortunately, we hit the ball too short. So that's the thing that's really killing Monaghan today. And Kieran Kearns will definitely not be happy with it. The amount of wides we had and short kicks into the goal.
7 wides in this contest.
And some of them really good scoring opportunities as well. It wasn't that they were.
Well, out of the 12 chances they had in the first half, scoreable chances, they took 8. So I suppose there has to be a wee bit of. He has to be happy to a point.
But when games are so tight like this as well, Paddy, them fine scores sometimes that you have to take them opportunities and you have to put them away, and it comes with the composure and a wee bit more experience and and the knowledge and stuff.
Well, Tyrone onto the cosh here once again. The ball will come out this near side, and always Monaghan have runners over. Certainly in the last maybe 5-10 minutes, always just seem to have the extra player. The same way Tyrone did, as Atkinson goes back into it again. Lovely ball inside to McBride. McBride across to the 13 McCabe, and it will be a free, if not more, perhaps. The referee's having a look there. will be a free.
From 13.
Yeah, and the referee having a note as well. Challenge come in, and it could prove costly with a player like McBride in front of goals. It'll certainly be another point, you'd expect.
Definitely. It just seems to be that Monaghan has that wee bit more hunger and the desire to get the ball and be off the shoulder, and the fitness level seems to be a wee bit better there as well, Paddy,
Ball dropped in, and McBride again dropping it over the bar. 1-11 now to 2-3. 14-9. Tyrone need to get the scores on the board. They're not coming their direction though. And ball picked up through the centre now by McCarroll, who's moved far more out the field. Does well. McCarroll continues to run. There's a nice pass out to the right hand side to McGee. Return pass inside, but work to be done. And overcarrying says the referee, or charging says the referee.
Charging instead of that.
Jane Gearman, I think it was.
If you look at Monaghan there, the players got all totally back there. There's 14 players tracked back, and now you have 2 or 3 of them pushing forward again. So they really have the real good game plan in place here, and it seems to be working for them.
There's a little ladies National Football League encounter. 27 has been introduced for Tyrone, and that I think is Niamh McElduff coming in for Emma Haggerty. And
Niamh came on last week and played really well as well.
Scored a point against Roscommon last week, But it's been a tough station for the likes of a player of from Emma Haggerty's stature. It's been a tough afternoon for a lot of those players. Certainly the younger players coming in, it's been tough for them too.
Definitely so, and I suppose whenever you look at it as well, of the Monaghan side and the Tyrone side, some of the bigger clubs, the more established clubs like Carrickmore and that, they don't have too many starters or players on the Tyrone panel. And if you look at as well, I suppose also the likes of the Scotchtowns, the Truce, on the Monaghan side as well, there's very little players on that panel either, And I suppose it reverts back to Paddy what we spoke about earlier on, the commitment, what is needed at intercounty level now.
Dr. Killian Hopkins was this Australian hat making his way across the field there. Just have a wee look. I think he's talked to one of his own players. That is Jennifer Duffy. And hat blows away. Not a day for that. The beanie hat required. Tell him the next time you're talking to him now.
I will.
No point in getting one of the nice fancy hats. So kick out coming from Kelly, from the free rather, and taken. Clock tells us 27 minutes almost played, and Monaghan almost cough up possession there. Work still to be done though for their defenders to get the ball out on that far side, and they will manage to clear their lines in these latter stages. They'll be happy with what they've seen this afternoon. Certainly Cairns will be anyway, after the disappointment of last week when they only scored 1-6. Shot from the left for McBride. That's high, it's dangerous.
No, it's not.
Dropping away.
The wind, it's just
one just held it back there. Caitlin Donnelly read the danger well. Well done there from a young Fitna goalkeeper. The ball out at this near side. Tyrone having to try and move the ball under a bit of pressure. Emma Lone there from the Fitna club as well. Malin inside, done well. Gets it inside to McHugh. McHugh launches it long. It's route one stuff now required from Tyrone's point of view. As they try and get the ball up the other end of the park again. McCaffrey, goal scorer in the second half. Tried to get through, goes it alone. Takes a wee bit too much out of it again, and it's a real tussle for possession. McCaffrey does well. There's 4 around her. She gets the ball back.
Yeah, it's very good to keep possession there, wasn't it?
Comes to McGee out that far side to the number 18 there. That is McGahan. And McGahan's effort spurned, turned away wide. Aoife McGahan from the Dungannon club.
That was great work by the Monaghan defence there, round the scene, the attacking threat of Chloe McCaffrey. They needed to be around her, swarmed her like bees, and in fairness to Chloe, she still got the ball out, and Tyrone probably should have got a score there as well.
Kick out on that far side. And, it looked like for a moment there the Tyrone players were happy enough for her just to carry the ball on there. The number 7, that is Lockman. Foul, will be a free. The referee calls it back, and suppose if you're part of the Monaghan management team, you'd be happy enough with what you've seen so far, Niall. Certainly with a solid performance, 111 on the board, few wides as well, but plenty of confidence shown about them.
Definitely so much to take from today's game from a Monaghan side. Last week that they went to the Portlaoise, and they got beat well, by a Laois side that's coming up through the ranks at intermediate level up into seniors.
Tyrone head to them next week.
Yeah.
So it's a big task for them now next week, that's for sure. The ball out that far side. Monaghan on the offensive again. Monaghan happy to just maybe roll down the clock, but still keen to get another score or two on the board. I've been very impressed for sure by this young lady, Jennifer Duffy. She's played very well this afternoon. The ball will come to Atkinson, who's certainly a contender for player of the match, if not the player of the match at this stage. They put the hexer there. There you go.
Yeah.
It worked. But on a serious note, she's been very, very good all afternoon.
No, she's really led by captain's role.
That's just one slip up in a match that's been compounded by her good quality play throughout. Tyrone on the offensive. Really Route 1 stuff at the moment. He did have missed the running ability of Niamh Hughes this afternoon, that's for sure. The ball won back, and that solid Monaghan defence have been very, very good as the referee gives the free out. We've played the allotted 60 minutes now. We're into additional time. Didn't see how much there was going to be. No board this afternoon. Sean O'Kane and co looking across to see is he going to make any late changes in this one. But really, it's all mathematical now in these closing stages. Ball out the near side, picked up by Niamh McElduff. McElduff done well last week. Ball inside. Tyrone, of course, missing the likes of Firepower of Niamh O'Neill as well this year, and her absence or her travels to Australia could prove important later on in the year. Tyrone in the offensive now, but it's a chance for Sean O'Kane to get our players up and running really. A chance here you'd expect for Maria Canavan to pop this one over the bar, but time really against Tyrone these closing stages.
Yeah, I suppose when you look at the both managements when they went in at half time, Paddy, they really looked at the danger players and stuff, and in fairness to Monaghan, they really kept Maria Canavan quiet in the second half. I know she's clinical when it comes to the free taking and stuff like that. And when you looked at, I suppose, the Tyrone side of it, they were trying to keep the legs of Chloe McBride, but she just pushed on, really in the second half, and you're on a bit player of the match, and I think she really stood up to the match today at number 14.
Canavan drops it over the bar, and good return from her this afternoon, but potentially not enough. 6 or 4 between them as Tyrone make another change. It is Amy Daly coming in. Amy's been in the squad from the Bodoni club now for many, many years. Oran Mulgrew, the player, withdrawn. But time certainly against Tyrone here in these latter stages as well, and it's going to be a
Slana as well. Slana came off there as well, didn't you?
I didn't see who went on for her.
No.
I think it's actually to see who it is. You didn't even see now who did go on there. We were watching the play develop. Corrigan tracking back there on Maeve Monaghan. But 4 between them as we hit the final moments of this one. That goal proving decisive, that goal from Amy Garland.
Yeah, Monaghan really needed to get a goal in the second half, really, Paddy, to put a rubber stamp on this game as well. But they've seen the more hungrier side, they've seen the more fitter side. When it came to the 50-50 ball as well, Monaghan just seemed to want to win it more as well. But yeah, it's great to see. It's a great game of football. Didn't know what to really expect today of today's.
No, I suppose from a Tyrone perspective, after beating Roscommon, they probably thought they were coming into a game where they could have got someone out of this afternoon. That's a fine score from Atkinson.
Yeah, that's a first
performance.
Yeah.
Back to a 5-point game, and you would say that's a done and dusted. Atkinson, good performance. You'll mark that one with just wrapping up her performance this afternoon with a fine score with 34 minutes on the clock in the second half. And
6.
Fergal Quinn there acknowledging the performance there from player being withdrawn there, Rebecca Barker. It's Kitty Murphy come in there. Unlimited subs, of course, in the league. But Monaghan's defence, they're so effective there, getting away, aren't they? And very, very comfortable in the ball.
Definitely, even the last minute of the game, Paddy, and they're still fighting back. They're still wanting to win that ball and getting in and getting that dirty ball and winning. In fairness to me of Monaghan, and you alluded early on, the Monaghan defence today has been really, really solid. You know, an awful and very little experience when you look into it as well. But I suppose the main cog in the wheel of that team was Rosemary Courtney. If you looked at it from number 6, she was pushing on from the very, very start, and she really, really led. When you're playing at that high level, at club level football, from a Dunamine side of point of view, like, she's really brought it on in here to the county side for Monaghan and really helped this young, more transitional team with youth and experience in it to push on today and to win.
For a team that was tasked to be transitional, they're not doing bad.
No,
certainly have, and those experienced players have made a big impact today.
Definitely,
no doubt about that.
Definitely, and as I said there, alluded to, like, you know, Dunamine playing at that high level and playing in an All-Ireland club final against the best in the country. You know, and you'd be able to draft in 4 players from that side. You've the Garland twins, you've Rosemary, and you've Aoife Bournes there as well. They've a massive help to this team today. I'm
just thinking there, maybe Chloe McCaffrey picked up another yellow card there in the closing moments.
I think so. Maybe the third.
It looks like it.
Third take or something, maybe.
Perhaps, yeah. So, a yellow card then for McCaffrey. But to be fair there, the time's against her here in these latter stages anyway, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But it was a red card.
Red card, okay.
So there we are. Thank you, Damien, for keeping us on watch. We were watching all our incidents further up the park, but just sums up Tyrone's afternoon, perhaps you would say. And there, Caroline has continued to run. She had some battle today with Emma Jane Gervin and McHugh. She's played well though.
Yeah, just come here when you look at it from the start, and you both alluded to it on numerous occasions, Paddy, the fitness level and the physicality what's needed to require an intercounty player now is phenomenal. And it's running up and down that pitch. You need to have runners on your pitch, and in fairness to Monaghan today, they seem to have more runners than Tyrone had, and they just seem to have that wee bit more of fitness than the Tyrone side has. But that's not to take away from Tyrone, because in fairness to Tyrone, they won last week against a Roscommon side that came up to Healy Park.
I thought that was I thought it was the final whistle there.
No, it was either,
yeah.
But in fairness, both sides will have taken loads of positives and negatives from today as well, you know, and so much to work on as well, and to see so many more players playing and to get in game time and that, and to push on to next week's challenge.
Absolutely. And there's another player in the book here, and it's going to be the number 18 for Monaghan. A yellow card then for,
she's only on
for
Celine
Murphy.
Celine Murphy, yeah.
But academic really at this stage.
Exactly, yeah.
As the kick out comes, the free comes, and the referee looks at his watch. Referee's been consistent.
He has
consistent performance from him this afternoon.
Yeah.
And kick out that far side. 112 to 2-4. Tells its own story in this one. 5-point deficit. Can Tyrone cut that perhaps with a goal? But time's against them here. Both sides down to 14 players, as we said. And latter stages, to be fair, Monaghan's defensive, everybody literally behind the ball. These closing moments. Corrigan tries to break away. The referee does blow the final whistle, and a comprehensive, solid performance from Monaghan. They'll be happy with that.
Yeah, I suppose they will. Yeah, and it's great to win at in your home ground. It's great to get 2 points on the board. Kieran Cairns and the management team will be really, really happy with today's performance, especially when you have to go next week to go to the current Ulster champions, Armagh, you know, which would be the kingpins in Ulster at the minute, and wouldn't be far off, you know, winning, you know, All-Ireland titles either. So yeah, it was a great win. for Monaghan today, and so many positives to take from it. So many more girls getting game time, getting on the ball, getting scores. 13 scores by Monaghan today, 6 by Tyrone as well. I suppose the negatives from the Monaghan side of it is, suppose, you have to just watch these certain tackles and you could be off for 10 minutes, these sort of sin bins and stuff and that, and they really need to work on that sort of thing. And I suppose from the Sean O'Keefe's side of things is he'll have to really push on and have a look at the video analysis from today as well.
McCaffrey finished well there with that goal, of course, but she found the going tough overall. Canavan played well, a good return from her as well, but work to be done from Tyrone.
No, definitely work to be done. But Sean will have to be happy with having Chloe on today, started from the start, and so Maria Canavan as well. He'll be glad to get them game time as well, and on the board. And they're still a threat. Tyrone will always be a threat, and it's just to build on that panel and to get them moving forward and to get more game time. They have 5 more games to play in the National League and before they play in the Ulster Club Championship.
Worrying though, before we wrap up for today, just 2 players scored for Tyrone. That has to be worrying.
Yeah, the spread of players from the Monaghan, side of it, and the more the hunger and the desire from the Monaghan team to get on the ball, to score. They were cycling.
I think it was 6 players actually.
Yeah, six players in the end whenever Miriam Atkinson put the ball over the bar. But it just seemed to be the composure of the Monaghan team coming up here today, Paddy. When I looked at the Monaghan panel, I looked at the few household names, like the Rosemary Courtney's wasn't down to start, the Miriam Atkinson was, but there wasn't really many leaders on that team. But whenever the game is over now, whenever you looked at them, girls have really stepped up to the mark, and they've really taken their club football onto the county scene as well, and they've really pushed on, and it's a credit to the players, it's a credit to Kieran Cairns and his backroom team. This is not just a 1-year transition for the likes of the Monaghan setup, it'll be a 2 to 3 year transition, and Monaghan will want to get back up where they belong in the senior championship. As you alluded at the start of this conversation, that they're down into intermediate. Division 2 football is good to be in. There's not much difference between Division 2 and Division 1 when you look at the National League end of it, but whenever you're playing in the intermediate championship, you want to get back up into that senior championship. But yeah, we'll be playing Tyrone again in the Ulster Championship, and we'll also be playing the new All-Ireland Junior Champions as well. Antrim will be looking at them as well. But yeah, it's great to see for Monaghan to get a win today and to get 2 points on the board. Yeah, and deservedly so.
Hopefully warmer conditions to come then here, but it has finished at St Tyrnix Park in Clonus in this Ladies National Football League Division 2 clash. It's finished. Monaghan 1 goal and 12 points, Tyrone 2 goals and 4. Work to be done in the Tyrone camp, but for Monaghan they're off the mark. Thanks to you, Neil, for joining us this afternoon. Thanks to Damien. Thanks to everyone in the studio as well. We'll be back again next week, somewhere in the country, with live exclusive coverage here of the Lidl National Football League on Tyrone, on Ladies. I was going to say Tyrone TV there, but I do mean that Lidl LGFA TV. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Slán.